Hi everyone, Pastor Michael Linderman here, coming to you on October 14th, Thursday. And it is fall. Happy fall to all of you. And I'm very happy to be beginning a video series on this book, Freedom, Finding Peace in Anxious Times. This is written by Marjorie Thompson, but it's based on the work of Henri Nouwen, who was a Roman Catholic priest, famous in Europe and in America. He had a worldwide following, actually. By the time of his death in 1996, Father Nouwen had 39 books to his name and hundreds of personal articles that he wrote for journals and magazines. 7 million copies of his books have been sold worldwide. And for those of you who are interested in finding out more, if you want to go to one of his most famous books, The Return of the Prodigal Son, is ranked 66th on the scale of 100 of the most popular Christian books of all time. And so he's a very famous writer, and we are blessed to have Marjorie Thompson's reflections on his writing and on his work, so that we can dive into the issue of finding peace in anxious times and what that has to do with personal Christian freedom given to us as a gift by God's grace. So I want you to look at the introduction. My first video in this series of videos is just going to show you the things that you want to look at as you begin reading the booklet and handling it and going through it. So you want to notice first that the inside cover has a guide with the list of the 5 sessions of the book, and then individual instructions for you to set aside some quiet time, it says, to read through each section of the guide, underline or jot down in the margins in a journal any thoughts that strike you as particularly important for you. Choose 1 or 2 of the suggested reflection questions and write down your thoughts. I want to invite you to really use this resource this fall through the rest of this month and into November, to dive into the topics of the sessions and treat it as an opportunity to grow in your own spiritual path and your own spiritual maturity. This is one of the gifts of Father Nouwen's work, and Marjorie Taylor has created this nice resource for us to use. And so the best use of it is prayerfully, that quiet time, that journal that you might use. If you haven't used the prayer journal before, this is a great time to go buy yourself a nice notebook or diary or journal and start using it in this way, and follow the prompts that are in the book here as you read each session. There are other instructions for us if we want to use this as a group resource, but you don't have to worry about that right now. We may try to do in November one group session on Zoom, and I'm going to be hopefully looking into how to do that for those of you who would be interested sometime in the month of November. The other thing that I would like to lift up is the image from the introduction that Marjorie Taylor Thompson Marjorie Thompson has created for us. She brings up a image from the work of Father Nouwen where he talks about the brilliance and amazing feats of trapeze artists. And what he focuses on as he uses this in his spiritual writing and in his own spiritual exercises is to focus on the catcher. That is, the trapeze artist who doesn't actually leave or let go of the trapeze bar, but who is constantly flying back and forth, hooked to his bar, usually by his knees, with his arms outstretched to catch the trapeze artist who is letting go and doing the flips and somersaults and making it look amazing. And so he focuses on the fact that trapeze artist who's the catcher is really God, and God plays that role in our lives, to be the catcher for all of our leavings, all of our letting go, all of our jumps of faith, leaps of faith, sometimes into the unknown, sometimes into scary situations and scary experiences, sometimes into exciting opportunities. But be that as it may, the catcher is always there to catch us. And Father Nouwen writes in such a way that we might start to treat God that way and look at God as that catcher who wants us to be free enough to let go, to experiment, to live the abundant life that he promises us in Jesus Christ, and to be confident that he will catch us again in the end. So consider these things in your meditation as you get into the book. Some of you may have already read the whole thing, but go back. And in the next video that I will provide next week, we'll talk about session 1. Until then, a blessed day to you. Thanks.